Peace, peace. This is the star with the star blues. Yeah. Star with the most high. Ashayo. Mm. I wanted to have something to touch in my hands while I shared the message with y'all today. And it's crazy, but it's like there are no coincidences, I promise you. If you allow yourself to be at such a real space of acceptance in it, everything happens in a way that you need it to be. Um, when you're ready to quit being at a rate of fear with you and permission, you know, with you as well, so you could be in connection with you. You know, there's a three that you'll find in a lot of things, y'all. So I'm sitting here and I'm working through the processes of really, really tackling the understanding of going through integration. And what does that have to do with the inner child or partnering with your inner child or being at this new rate with yourself, right? And it's crazy. I don't want to move anything because it's almost like if I move it, then it's like you can't see. But it's like, y'all, if y'all could see, my closet is like a mess. It's clothes in here, okay? And me being an air sign, it is driving me nuts because I have it set up. I have it set up so y'all can't see my clothes hamster over here, and so y'all can't see my clothes that are hanging up, but they hanging up in a way so I can organize them. So it looks like I'm in here, like I got a rack, and I'm basically picking out clothes for spring collection or some, you know. But anyways, okay. So stay focused. Basically, I came to a page from 11/29/2024. It's a 3 day. Um, and I had like a crazy, crazy download this day, and it was about like integrating. And after I read it, I was just sitting with it, but after I read it, I was like, well, I wonder where I'm at. And I was thinking about the misconceptions that we have in spirituality and how we feel and we believe that things will happen a certain way because we don't really have full understanding, you know? So when you start to try to tackle certain rates of meanings for things, like um, a lot of things probably they don't sit well. I don't know why I'm hearing that, just don't sit well. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but to be at a rate, even yeah, because that's one of those things, okay? Me being at this rate to where I'm receiving messages and wanting to share messages, but also having the message of wanting to organize my closet as well. There's this misplacement sometimes that we have with ourselves and with our duty and with how we're showing up and then with how we're being, you know, and then wanting to petition certain rates of new information. The other day when I was on the live, I wanted to share a message because I'm like, well, I haven't been on live. I need to share a message. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm not in alignment if I'm not putting myself out there to do what it is that the Most High's called me to do, right? And then I get to this rate where I start to speak, but then I started to share something that wasn't privy to the collective at that point, you know, wasn't something that it wasn't my message to give, right? And then sometimes we got to be in a space to where we could be able to receive that within ourselves, right? And I was whole with it, so I stopped. Anytime I get to that point, I stop, you know, because I just did. I stopped and I rerouted and I basically asked Spirit what it was. There's a reason why I was on the live, you know, There would have been things that would have kept me from being able to go on live if I wasn't meant to be on there, right? And I stopped, and then when I was able to actually get the message that came out was what it was that I needed to receive. However, it hadn't been fully integrated. So what am I talking about, y'all? A lot of the times we be seeing stuff on here. A lot of people are coming into different layers of understanding. They don't know what it is to be spiritual. They don't want to go against religion. However, they feel something when they hear this information, yet a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. So I'm going to try to do my best to make things make sense and not try to be over people's head with things, because we all get to know and we don't have to feel stupid when we're trying to learn or experience something new because it's different. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, I don't know why I needed to like share that, but I have it on here. Integrate, to render something whole, or to bring together the parts of, or to make something whole. Okay? Um, was the definition that I wrote on there. Integration is the act of bringing something together and making it whole. And if you apply integration to like spirituality and being on your healing journey, to make it make sense. Uh, oh God, thank you, Spirit. Say you had a car that was stolen, right? And you get your car back after it been stolen. It's been stolen for a while, okay? And you pull your car seat back and you got crumbs and shit under your floor, your carpet. You have permanent imperfections on your custom paint job. It looks like keys have been written all over your custom paint job. You got stuff that's stained in the carpets on the floor, right? And you receive this stuff back, and you basically take an inventory of what it is, right? You know, of you now aware of the state that you found yourself to be in. This is what happens when we wake up, y'all, to certain layers of ourselves. We boom, like I said, sometimes it be a trauma that occurred that'll wake us up. If we wake up, if we a late bloomer, okay, and we wake up to a rate of ourselves, and it's like something's different here. You know, you start to take inventory. You start to become aware of what's happened to your vessel, to your being. Okay, you start to see the things that you've done unconsciously, consciously, things that you've been in participation of allowing, you know, because you've created allowances with people, all right? So when you think about integrating, you're thinking about, you know, on a spiritual level, you're thinking about coming to a higher level of perspective in the space where you have been placed at, all right? So I may have believed that, you know, somebody may have just scratched this side. I may have believed that, you know, I was always mistreated this way. However, I'll come into a layer of awareness within myself. I'll receive information that'll give me the fullness. It'll create a space that, you know, had been voided. It'll actually create the substance that comes here. It's goodness. It's going to be truthful and wholeness, and it's actually going to be a part of. I'm not going to, you know, 5.5 to get a 1.1A piece. I'm going to have a 1.1A piece back in this space, and I'm now going to integrate it on a spiritual level and make it make sense. I'm scanning this space to see what has occurred, what's actually happened here, what did I have misunderstood here, and how am I in this place here, right? What can I do with this new information, right? How can I be in this new space, right? Um, I don't know why I said all of that. It must have been meant. It must have been meant. That's integration. I'm gonna stop here. Like, comment, share. I'm gonna make a part 2 to this message.